Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Canal Algérie Midnight News, and these are our top stories. The President of the Republic, Ahmed Tebboune, officially welcomed the Nigerian President, Abdurrahman Tiani, with whom he held private talks. In a joint statement to the press, President Tebboune affirmed that President Tiani's visit strengthens the bonds of fraternity between the two countries. And the President of the Republic announces that the construction of this section of the Trans-Saharan gas pipeline crossing Niger will be launched after Ramadan. For his part, the Nigerian President pledges for support strategic partnership with Algeria and praises Algeria's position on Niger's sovereignty. Welcome back. The President of the Republic officially welcomed the President of the Republic of Niger, Abdurrahman Tiani, this Monday at the Presidential Palace. Following the national anthem and the flag salute, the President of Niger reviewed detachments of the Republican Guard who rendered him military honors. Before holding the meeting, the two presidents posed for a souvenir photo in the presence of representatives of national and international media. And upon his arrival, the President of the Republic of Niger greeted the senior officials, including the Director of the Cabinet at the Presidency of the Republic, the Minister Delegate to the Minister of National Defense, Chief of Staff of the PNA, the Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the National Community Abroad and African Affairs, the Minister of State, Minister of Hydrocarbons and Mines, the Advisor to the President of the Republic in charge of Diplomatic Affairs, Minister of Health, Minister of Energy and Renewable Energies, and the Minister of Public Works and Telecommunication. For his part, the President of the Republic greeted the member of the high-level delegation accompanying the President of the Republic of Niger. The President of the Republic, Ahmed Tebboune, accompanied by Algeria's guest, the President of the Republic of Niger, Head of State Abdurrahman Tiani, stood for a moment before portraits of former presidents of the Algerian Republic in main hall of the Presidency of the Republic. Subsequently, the President of the Republic then met in private with the President of the Republic of Niger, Abdurrahman Tiani. Following the meeting, the President of the Republic, accompanied by the President of the Republic of Niger, extended talks between the delegations of the two countries, a step aimed at strengthening the bonds of fraternity, cooperation and good neighbourliness between the two countries. The visit provided an opportunity to discuss political issues relating to the African continent and to general and the Sahel region in particular. Later on, the two presidents delivered a joint press statement in which the President of the Republic, Almiji Tebboune, affirmed that President Tiani's visit to Algeria had strengthened the bonds of fraternity and friendship between the two countries. The President also announced an agreement of the launch of the Trans-Sahara gas pipeline project via Niger after a month of Ramadan. The President of the Republic will listen.
عن امتناننا وسرورنا باستقبال أخينا الفاضل فخامة رئيس جمهورية النيجر السيد عبد الرحمن تشاني. كانت زيارة كنا ننتظر فيها منذ مدة تحققت والحمد لله، وبهذه الزيارة ننهي مرحلة كانت غير طبيعية لبرودة بين البلدين، رغم أن الشعبين واصلوا في التواصل مع بعضهم بعض. إذن زيارة رفعت سقف الأخوة والصداقة معا كجيران كإخوة كأصدقاء. اتفقنا على كل ما كان يدور بيننا من تعاون أمني، تعاون طاقوي، محروقات وكهرباء، تعاون تكوين جامعي، تكوين مهني، تكوين عسكري. اتفقنا كذلك على انطلاقة في مشروع إنجاز الأنبوب الغاز العابر عبر التراب النيجيري الشقيق. إذن مباشرة بعد شهر رمضان سوناتراك تأخذ الأمور وتنطلق في بداية وضع الأنبوب في التراب النيجيري إن شاء الله.
The President of the Republic reaffirmed Algeria's readiness to support its Nigerian brothers with whatever assistance they may require, without reservation, stressing that Algeria stands firmly by their side in the fight against terrorism, drawing on its considerable expertise in the field and mobilizing all necessary resources. We'll listen.
اتفقنا كذلك على مرافقة إخواننا في النيجر بكل ما يطلبونه ولا هو متواجد بين أيدينا. لا نبخل دولة النيجر الشقيقة بأي شيء موجود بين أيدينا. اتفقنا ما ندخلش في التفاصيل تاع المشاريع، فيه مشاريع فيما يخص الصحة، كذلك دار للصحافة في نيامي بالنسبة للصحافة النيجيرية، وبالنسبة لمحاربة الإرهاب فنحن في خندق واحد وسنتعاون بأقصى جهود وبكل الإمكانيات والخبرة الموجودة في الجزائر فيما يخص محاربة الإرهاب، وسنصون المودة التي بيننا منذ أجيال وأجيال وأجيال، ويبقى النيجر والجزائر شقيقين جيران وإن شاء الله مثل لإفريقيا.
The President of the Republic also affirmed that Niger's security is inseparable from Algeria's, expressing his wish for the Algerian-Nigerian Joint Commission to convene after the month of Ramadan in order to consolidate the agreements reached and ensure their effective implementation on the ground. Let's listen.
Je terminerai cette rencontre par dire deux choses. La première des choses, c'est que la sécurité du Niger est la sécurité de l'Algérie.
Merci, Excellence.
Soyez-en persuadés, effectivement, il y a eu des tentatives, il y aura peut-être des tentatives, mais nous serons toujours dans la même tranchée à côté de nos frères nigériens.
Merci,
pour toutes les circonstances.
Merci, Excellence.
Et comme nous avons convenu ensemble, Monsieur le Président, j'espère que dans les 10 jours qui suivront Ramadan, après Ramadan, la commission mixte pourra se réunir pour consolider tout ce que vous avez dit et tout ce que nous avons accepté ensemble et passer à la réalisation sur le terrain.
The President of the Republic of Niger, Head of State Abdourahmane Tiani, stated that his visit to Algeria is part of strengthening fraternal relations between the two countries within the framework of consolidating a strategic partnership in various sectors such as security and energy. Let's listen.
En Algérie témoigne de l'intérêt que nous
Algeria shows the importance we give to brotherhood and cooperation between our two people and our two governments. I am very happy about the strong historical relationship between our people. We both want to make our friendly cooperation and friendly neighbor ties even stronger. Mr. President, this visit is part of our efforts to continue strengthening our strategic partnership, especially in the areas of security, oil and energy, infrastructure and transport, communication, trade, as well as education and training. The President of Niger also praised Algeria's position in supporting Niger's sovereignty and respecting its internal political choices, which honors the Algerian government and the people. We listen.
prise par votre pays.
The position taken by your country in respecting Niger's sovereignty and its internal political choices honors you, your government, and the great Algerian people. In any case, no Algerian and no African could imagine Algeria allowing its territory to be used to attack an African country, especially when it concerns the same power that for more than a century inflicted unspeakable suffering on the brave Algerian people. Your position is even more honorable when one considers that some African countries whose leaders have been influenced missed their appointment with history by responding to French calls to wage war against the people of Niger. The President of Niger also stated that an important page in the history of the Sahel region and Africa has been written for more than a decade, emphasizing that each party is playing its role according to its conviction, interest and values. We listen.
Monsieur le Président,
Mr. President, we are convinced that an important chapter in history of the Sahel and Africa has been unfolding for more than a decade. Each country will play its role according to its convictions, its interests, its values and legacy it wishes to leave behind. For our part, in this context of tension and widespread communication, we will rely on the following principles and values to always remain committed, never betray the aspirations of the people who placed their trust in us, work for peace and security, the peace and security we seek for Niger, we also seek for our neighbors and our allies. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, this is the spirit in which we have arrived in your beautiful country, a friend, a brother and a neighbor. We are confident by doing so, we will overcome all difficulties and obstacles and succeed together through dialogue in achieving great things for our countries and our people. At the invitation of the Algerian President Abdelmadjid Tebboune, Nigerian President Abdourahmane Tiani conducted an official working visit to Algeria on February the 15th and the 16th of 2026 to strengthen the long-standing friendship and cooperation between the two countries. Both leaders reaffirmed respect for each country's sovereignty, territorial integrity and non-interference in internal affairs, and rejected any foreign involvement in the region. They stressed that the Sahel's future must be built locally by regional countries and agreed that security is one country is linked to the other, especially against terrorism and cross-border crime. The two parties also agreed to reactivate bilateral mechanisms for border monitoring, anti-terrorism coordination and to hold a joint High Committee meeting in Niamey before mid-2026, along with regular political and sectoral consultation. The two presidents committed to speeding up the economic and infrastructure projects, including the Trans-Sahara Road and the other cross-border projects, fiber optic connectivity and the gas pipeline, energy cooperation in hydrocarbons and renewable energies, electrification of rural borders area, simplified trade procedures, organized border markets and studies for cross-border development zones, cooperation in startups, digitalization, culture, youth, sports and training. The two presidents also aligned on regional and global issues, calling for African-led solutions, a reform of the regional security system, fair access to climate and development finance and stability in the Sahel region. This historic visit marks a new era of ambitious, confident cooperation with regular future meetings to strengthen ties between the two brotherly people. The President of the Republic of Niger thanked the President of the Republic, Hamidji Tebboune, and the people of Algeria for the warm and friendly welcome given to him and his delegation. The Nigerian president also invited the President of the Republic to visit Niger, an invitation that was gladly accepted. The date will be decided through official diplomatic channels. Also, at the Presidential Palace, bilateral talks took place between various ministers and state officials and their Nigerian counterparts in Najaf.
At the headquarters of the Presidency of the Republic, a series of bilateral meetings took place, starting with talks between the Chief of Staff of the Presidency of the Republic, Boualem Boualem, and Souman Aboubakar, Minister of State and Chief of Staff to the President of the Republic of Niger. Meanwhile, the Minister Delegate to the Minister of the National Defense and Chief of Staff of the People's National Army, the Army General Saïd Chengriha, held discussions with Niger's Minister of State and Minister of Defense, General Salifou Moudi. The Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ahmed Attaf, also met with his Nigerian counterpart responsible for foreign affairs and cooperation. Cooperation in the hydrocarbons sector featured prominently in the discussions between the Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arqab, and Niger's Minister of Petroleum. The Minister of Health, Mohamed Sadiq Ait Masoudan, in turn held talks with his Nigerian counterpart. The Minister of Industry, Yahya Bashir, and Foreign Trade and Export Promotion, Kamal Razig, explored avenues of bilateral cooperation and partnership in the fields of industry and trade with Niger's Minister of Trade and Industry. The Minister of Energy and Renewable Energies, Mourad Ajal, for his part, conferred with Niger's Minister of Energy. The Minister of Vocational Training and Education, Nassim Arhab, reviewed prospects for partnership with Niger's Minister of Technical and Vocational Education and Training. Likewise, the Minister of Post and Telecommunications, Sidali Zarrouqi, met with Niger's Minister of Communication and New Information Technologies. For his part, the Minister of Public Works, Abdelkader Jallawi, engaged in discussions with Niger's Minister of Equipment and Infrastructure.
Early this Monday, the President of the Republic of Niger visited the Martyrs Memorial in Algiers, where he led a wreath at the commemorative stele and recited the Fatiha from the Holy Quran in memory of the martyrs of the glorious revolution of the 1st of November. The President of the Niger then admired the view of the Bay of Algiers before visiting the National Museum of the Mujahid, where he received detailed explanations on the various stages of the Algerian history and the struggle of its people. The President of Niger concluded the visit by signing the museum's guest book. The 39th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa praised President Abdelmadjid Tebboune for his efforts in combating terrorism, strengthening continental coordination and advancing the Oran process on peace and security in Africa. Leaders of the African continent also welcomed progress made by the African Union Commissions and highlighted Algeria's role alongside the A3 group within the United Nations Security Council defending African interests. The Minister of Interior, Local Authorities and Transport, Said Sayoud, received the French Minister of the Interior, Laurent Lutias, who arrived in Algiers this Monday for a two-day visit at the invitation of his Algerian counterpart. The Minister of Interior, the Interior, Local Authorities and Transport and the French Minister of Interior held expanded meeting attended by members of both countries' delegation. New security reports accuse the Marzine regime of involvement in operations flooding the region with all types of drugs, with complex trafficking networks from Morocco repeatedly exposed. Najatiyar.
Based on inquiries conducted by the Spanish security services, Morocco has reportedly increased the land allocated to cannabis cultivation, evolving from a simple transit hub into what observers describe as a narco-state with an economy partially sustained by drug trafficking. Such a narco-state is said to fund networks tasked with smuggling these illegal substances into several neighboring countries. Security reports further suggest that the country is among the world's top producers of cannabis resin. This trade supports transnational criminal networks and represents a serious threat to both regional and international security. As a result, the Mediterranean and Atlantic maritime areas have allegedly become particularly exposed to the organized crime operations. Within this framework, a recent operation by Spanish authorities uncovered an advanced logistical structure used by criminal organizations. The system reportedly comprised fuel depots, tools to track security force movements, and fast maritime vessels designed to maintain trafficking activities offshore. The authorities also announced the dismantling of an organized criminal network, the arrest of more than 90 individuals suspected of involvement in the drug trafficking, and the confiscation of around 57 tons of cocaine in recent raids. Investigations additionally point to the strategic position of Morocco as a logistical hub for exporting various narcotics through multiple routes, enabling their distribution to several European destinations, notably Spain and other neighboring states.
That was the Midnight News. Thank you for watching us. Bye for now.